I'd like to call this meeting to order. Have a roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia.
Here.
Freeholder Fasano.
Here.
Freeholder Hertzberg is absent. Freeholder Director Patillo.
Here.
Freeholder Yardley will be absent this evening.
I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. Would you please stand with us for a moment of silence? Please join with us in the salute to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I feel unsafe as everyone to mention. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PM 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PM 1975, has been made by regular mail. Such notice being submitted on January 6, 2020, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, the Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements, and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. Before we have a motion to approve the agenda, I would like to amend the agenda to add a proclamation and to note that public session comments will remain at 3 minutes. So now may I have a motion to amend the agenda? So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Proclamations, certificates, and presentations. There's a proclamation for 2020 Distinguished Service Award, which was presented to Dawn Metzger by Sussex County Council of Services Agencies. And I would just like to speak about Dawn for just a minute. We had her luncheon this afternoon, and the Sussex County Council of Services Agencies gave her the distinguished honor of the service awards that she received. Dawn works now with the Samaritan Inn. She has a list of different agencies that she has worked for throughout her career. She is the executive director at Samaritan Inn since 2009, where she is still leading this nonprofit organization to meet the needs of homeless families and individuals in Sussex County by providing short-term emergency shelter and case management in private apartments that are fully integrated into the community. Due to Dawn's efforts this past year, Samaritan Inn was awarded the Impact 100 grant, which provided funds to buy a third building in Newton. I would just like to congratulate Dawn and thank you for the commitment and the service and the dedication that this woman has given to help the people in our area that are homeless, especially right now with the cold weather and all of the issues that surrounds getting someone into some type of housing to keep them safe. So it was a wonderful afternoon, and congratulations. This was a well-deserved award. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the proclamation? So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are no public hearings, so I'd like to go right to public session. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less and must only address issues regarding the agenda. If you have an issue that is not on the agenda, there is a second public comment period at the end of the meeting. Please, if you come up to the podium, state your name and print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet that's on the podium. Can I have a motion to open the floor to the public? So moved. Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're open. Would anyone like to come up and speak? No? Okay. At this time, I'll bring it back. Have a motion to bring it back, please. So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'd like to open up for freeholder comments, and Anthony, would you like to begin?
Sure, probably because mine are the shortest by far, being that this is day 4 on this job. But I'm learning. I just learned where to park. I did that relatively successfully. But I do appreciate you guys as well. I did want to say one thing, and that's certainly prayers, our thoughts and prayers with our troops abroad, one of them being my brother. And certainly they're with us in this moment. Other than that, I'm just getting used to everything, and I appreciate the hospitality, so thank you.
I just got a message from Freeholder Hertzberg that he is trying to leave work and he is delayed and did not expect it. So he most likely won't be making it here, I don't believe. Okay, so I have some carryovers from December. I received a really comprehensive report from the Sussex County Arts and Heritage Council, their fourth quarter report. Very, very active at the close of the year. In October at the gallery, they had multiple exhibits. They had their traditional annual masquerade ball, which is a very large fundraiser for them. They had 9th Annual Heritage Week, October 12th. It began. 21 county area museums, historical societies, and sites were open to the public with interactive maps. There was a countywide craft fair. In November, there was an exhibit at the gallery. There were various workshops, including songwriting, so it wasn't just tactical art, it was also performing arts were incorporated in, which was very nice. There were art re-grant applications, and the committee made recommendations and they approved awards. Also at the gallery in December, there was a Small Works Holiday Gifts Artist Reception, and they frequently also do the paint and sip, which is so in vogue now that you'll see everywhere. You can do it right here on Spring Street. They do have their annual meeting on January 20th. That'll be their first meeting of the new year, and their planning is underway for the 5th Annual Expose Regional Juried Photography Exhibit. These are great. I got to attend a few of their exhibits, and I would say monthly they may put something up in the gallery on Spring Street. And my favorite is the senior art exhibits, for a little bit of our older folks that really get to put their talent on display, and then they compete at the state level, the top awarded artwork. So it's been a really great year last year, and being the liaison to the Arts and Heritage Council, because there's a lot going on, and I wish more people would take advantage of it, and I think maybe they're not aware of it. So they have a very active presence on social media, and their website is very active as well. They're doing something January 12th. It's a 4-hour abstract art workshop with artist Anne Green, where they'll be creating mixed media collages as well. So I think, I'm looking forward, and I hope as we solidify our liaison appointments for the upcoming year that I'm assigned again to the Arts and Heritage Council, because it was very enjoyable. Also, for the Sheriff's Department, I just have one small update that Sussex and Wantage have now signed on for dispatch service through the county, so I'm looking forward to that partnership. As far as the Finance Department, Elga had sent us all the county financial reports for the month that had ended in November 20th. We do report that the Sheriff's Department revenue is a bit lower due to the decrease in foreclosures. And I think that's probably one of the happiest announcements of a decrease in revenue that we had, because there was a decrease in foreclosures in the county. Also, we received information regarding the close of the county clerk board of elections, and their year runs November to November, and they actually closed with, as usual, Mr. Parra is very, very fiscally responsible, and closed with quite a surplus that hopefully will help, for our budget planning for next year. They stayed well within budget. Also, by way of the library, Girls Who Code clubs. We just had the National Hour of Code across the country, and Franklin is promoting Girls Who Code, because a lot of times females are not traditionally equally represented in coding. So they're trying to close the gender gap in technology learning. So the Franklin Branch Library is hosting 2 separate clubs. Grades 3 to 5 can go to the Girls Who Code meetings on Monday afternoons, every Monday from 3:45 to 4:45. And then there's also another group called Girls Who Code for Teens, and that's for kids in grades 6 through 12, and that's a more intensive 10-week program. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna work together to create a website that benefits Sussex County. So I'd be interested to see what the final product of that is. The club's meeting every Tuesday from January 21st to March 31st from 6:30 to 7:30, and they encourage, attendance. But, I want to note that employment opportunities in the field of computer science and research are projected to grow by about 16% in the next decade. And, the number of girls interested in those fields, unfortunately, steadily declining. So by creating these kind of experiences in a no-pressure environment, we're hoping will really, spur the interest of the girls to become involved in coding. So if you have a daughter or know a young lady that would like to be involved, just visit the SussexCountyLibrary.org site or just call the Franklin branch. And that's my report. Thank you.
Well, I attended the signing for the McGuire building sale with Sussex County Community College, and I want to congratulate them that they finally were able to get through all the environmental issues and to purchase that building. That building is going to be used for technical education, and they really are on the cusp of just something that is beginning to expand. As college has always been the push for all of our high school children, they now realize the need for the labor force and the different careers, education that they will be having over at this building, and the fact that it's off the college and it's in the community is going to make a big difference for everyone. So I just wanted to congratulate them for their fortitude to keep on going and to push through, and they were successful in doing that. I also want to mention something. In the winter, when it gets cold, we unfortunately have homeless on the streets of Sussex County. And over the years, Samaritan Inn always had a hotline for the homeless, and they handled it very well. It was immediate response. They were able to get a hold of the people that called and get them into some type of housing facility and get them off the street. But on December 31st, 2019, an email was sent out notifying all of the members and associates that New Jersey 211, which is a state agency, would be taking over the duties of providing after-hour emergency shelter services across the state of New Jersey. And what they found out in the past couple of weeks is that they couldn't handle it. It was really a disaster. We had people on the streets. We didn't know they needed housing. They couldn't find housing. Calls weren't returned for 2 or 3 hours. So anyway, under the direction, Carol, I'm sorry I have to use your name, Carol Navarrete, there was quite a strong, forceful meeting today with the state of New Jersey, and you were able to convince them to turn it back over to Samaritan Inn. So I want to thank you for that, because not many people could convince the state to change direction, especially in a phone call. So thank you very much for your perseverance to get this done. And for anyone who needs shelter, the number to call is 973-940-8869. I also would like to congratulate our registered environmental health specialists at the Division of Health for the excellent response to our countywide power outages that occurred during the storm in December. And the Division of Health began conducting emergency outreach and guidance to food establishments on December 1st, 2019. A list was developed of food establishments which engaged in high-risk food activities with the potential of causing foodborne illness, or those serving especially susceptible populations in the towns experience the most power outages. The staff personally contacted the identified food establishments to provide a uniform guidance message for power outage food safety procedures, and I want to thank them for that. If you haven't had a flu shot yet, you can still get a flu shot up at our office at 201 Wheatsworth Road, and they're up to January 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. There's also a caregiver support group at a PACON Community Resource and Wellness Center. That takes place on Wednesday, January 15th from 5:30 to 6:30. And the last thing that I would like to mention, and I've always enjoyed being involved in this, is the Champions for Charity. The Champions for Charity kicked off its 11th year during the month of December. And the charity is local high schools participate with this initiative every year by hosting a friendly, competitive competition to collect the most food. So the different high schools are competing against each other to collect food. Donations are then picked up by a Skylands Ride bus where they actually weigh the food right there from the school. They deliver it to the Social Services Food Pantry that is provided to residents in need. Students and faculty from Sussex County Technical School collected 1,640 pounds of food toward this effort on the 12th of December, and High Point Regional High School collected 5,000 pounds on 19th of December. So a big thank you to all of them for all their hard work. Greatly appreciated by those that use the pantry. All right, you can go on. All right, we don't have a consent agenda, so we can move to the approval of meetings, and I separated them, Anthony, because you weren't here for the December 18th meeting.
Yes. Well, I did have a question regarding that and the bills list.
The answer is
Well,
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can't
we'll have
vote.
to, no.
So we can't vote.
Well, no, not on the, he can't vote on the, I was answering the minutes question.
Yeah, no, I would have preferred to abstain from the December 26th payment of bills, being that I wasn't here. However, can I still do that? Is that?
Well, that's maybe a little more.
My question is in order for it to be approved, does it take majority of the board or the majority of those present for bills?
It's gonna take you to do it.
Okay. All right, no problem.
We need to do that.
We need three.
I will vote on it, of course, in
Thanks.
the situation.
I understand that's the situation, but I had similar questions when I came on. And have you had the ability to review the bill list? Like, I mean, I don't know how he can possibly vote on the bill list where he wasn't even in office if it wasn't something that was reviewed.
I prefer not to.
That does not make sense to me in any capacity.
Well, there's something I don't know here about this that.
I know we expected Mr. Hertzberg to be here this,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
this is what jammed up.
Could we have
Do this.
Hertzberg on the phone to make that vote?
Yeah.
If we
I'm
don't
just
do the
concerned
bills.
about the people who are on the list.
I understand.
That's all.
I understand, but then, like I said,
Could we
there's
do-
no business I don't believe in. Anthony, that's your decision, but
No,
I
Anthony,
can't imagine voting
we
on
of course
something that I was
respect that. I'm
not
only,
free to.
my concern is totally different than that.
No, of course.
So, yeah, can we check that, please? And that would
Yes.
solve everything very.
We'll do both of them, the minutes, and we'll do the payment of bills right away.
Yes, because we don't have enough days for the December meeting to approve the minutes.
Right.
Anybody else has views, I'll be here by myself.
But you can for the reorg minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm hinting the dice, this is very organized. Like, can we do this? Sure.
Present and the roll call.
I was assuming she's-
Hello, Freeholder Hertzberg. I'm on the dais right now.
Good.
And we are needing your vote to vote on the bills list and for the minutes. And if I put you on speaker because Freeholder Fasano was not a freeholder at the time, nor can he vote on the December bills list. So may I put you on speaker, and are you able to vote on that matter?
Those.
Okay, I'm putting you on speaker.
Okay. Did somebody make a motion? I didn't.
We didn't make a motion yet, no.
Okay.
All right, could I have a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of December 18th, 2019?
So moved?
Josh, can you second that?
Yes,
Okay.
second.
Any discussion? A voice vote, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Stay on the line. Motion to approve reorganizational meeting January 2nd, 220. Could I have a motion for that, please?
So moved?
Second?
Second.
Anthony seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, we're going to go to the bill list now, Josh. I need a motion for the resolution of payment of bills for December 26, 2019.
So moved?
Josh, I need a second.
Second?
A roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Abstain.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley is absent.
Okay, here's our last one. A motion to approve the resolution for the payment of bills for January 8th, 2020. So, make a motion, please.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, a roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes. Okay, well, good. Josh, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for not being there.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, bye.
So we're good now.
We're
First
good.
meeting, I only caused a little bit of trouble.
No.
Could I have a motion, please, for resolutions A and B?
I'll move.
Second?
Is there any discussion? A roll call, please.
I just had a quick question.
Okay.
13A, is that an extension of an already existing agreement?
We have had an existing agreement. This is an agreement for the years 2020 and 2021.
Understood.
A roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Pisano?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes. Awards of contract, change orders, and bid. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract, change orders, bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. Could I have a motion, please, to move A and B?
So moved.
14.
Second.
Is there any discussion? A roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Pisano?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes. Okay, we paid the bills on personnel. Could I have a motion to move 16, resolution authorizing personnel agenda of January 8th, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Pisano?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes. Mr. Buck.
Yes, thank you very much. We continue the development of our 2020 operating and capital budgets. I'm going to be looking for the Budget Subcommittee to meet with you all within the next 2 weeks so that we can review where we're at, and I'll follow up with you as to a convenient time to do so. And we'd just like to recognize those employees in Public Works, as well as the Office of Bridge and Traffic Safety, Fleet and Facilities, with all of the work that they've been doing in responding to the winter storms. They've really done tremendous work, particularly with some of the staffing level issues that we've had, and they've really done a remarkable and admirable job in terms of being able to keep our roads clear of snow and ice. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's all.
Devin?
Nothing for tonight. Thank you.
We have any unfinished business or new business?
Unfinished business, I have a question. As far as the trustee appointments for the college, Greg, what is the best way that we can, communicate with the search committee? Should we relay any information to you? I know you and I had, discussed briefly about that. In order to move them.
I would say that probably the most efficient way would be to communicate with me, and then I'll speak with the chairperson of the search committee so that we can
Move forward.
continue to,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to have a public session from the floor, and everyone is asked to keep their comments to 3 minutes. Please state your name and print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet, and this is for anything. It does not have to be on the agenda. May I please have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're open. If you'd like to speak, please come up to the podium. Could you just state your name, please, for the record?
Yes. My name is Dominic Portelli, and I'm a resident of Sussex County in Lafayette. I've come here today to talk about the Second Amendment to the United States Bill of Rights. Every square inch of this country is supposed to be protected by the Bill of Rights. Unfortunately, that is not the case here in New Jersey. It is within reason to say that your constituents' Second Amendment rights are under attack. We have long faced a de facto ban from receiving pistol carry permits. These permits are required by the state of New Jersey to legally carry a pistol for the right of lawful self-defense. The issue is that nobody, except for law enforcement or politically connected people, are issued carry permits here in New Jersey. On top of this unconstitutional de facto carry permit ban, we have stood by hopeless as Trenton shoved standard capacity magazine bans, red flag laws, and arbitrary cosmetic firearm feature bans down our throats. In the view of our country's founding fathers, the rights listed in the Bill of Rights are God-given rights that are simply further guaranteed to the people by the Bill of Rights. These are rights that no level of government can take away. Our Second Amendment rights have simply been suppressed by the state of New Jersey. Our complaints have been dismissed and ignored. Our lawsuits have been tied up in courts for years. Our rights are simply denied day after day, year after year. Whatever happened to shall not be infringed. The bottom line is that I'm here to ask you all what you're doing about it. Election after election, people in Sussex County go out and vote for Republican leadership that claims to support the Second Amendment, but we have seen no action to prove that. Recently, there has been a sanctuary movement, and no, it is not the one you're all thinking about. You know, the one that aids and abets illegal aliens at the expense of the New Jersey taxpayer. The movement that violates federal immigration law. The one that is providing driver's licenses to criminals who should not be here in the first place.
1 minute.
The sanctuary movement I'm talking about here is a sanctuary for your law-abiding constituents who support and should be protected by the Bill of Rights, specifically the Second Amendment, the amendment that clearly states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Others and I have mailed a declaration to you all for your review and vote. If approved, this declaration will declare Sussex County a Second Amendment sanctuary. Now it is time for you all, who represent us, to go vote on record and prove for what you stand for. Even if the declaration is not approved, your constituents deserve to know where you stand. After all, political campaign talk is cheap. Representation is what we really need. Representation is what we voted you all in here for. Thank you.
Thank
Time.
you. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
To address a little bit of what you have said at our reorganization meeting, I did bring this topic up and I spoke about it. I, for one, am watching Virginia very closely because what's happening there, in my opinion, is a travesty, and it is in direct conflict with 2A. Again, we've received multiple versions of resolutions for our review. We did not want to move on it before the new year until Mr. Fasano joined the board because Mr. Graham was exiting. But not to repeat what I had said at the reorganization meeting, but again, I feel for a long time New Jersey residents have been requesting broader concealed carry laws, and we are now devolving in the opposite direction, which seems to make New Jersey an environment entirely hostile to legal gun ownership. So now it seems we're moving further and further away from expanded carry laws and moving more towards bans, intentional barriers to insurance. We saw what just happened this year. You know, to comment a little bit on what you said specifically, I think it bears mentioning that Governor Murphy does enjoy a double standard with armed police protection at the State House, whether or not what's deemed a justifiable threat is, you know, evident or not. The Christie administration had broadened it a bit to allow for serious threats under that category, and the Murphy administration reversed that, which then made it tighter again, which has led, in my opinion, directly led to grave consequences, specifically for women. So what I can say, I can't speak, you know, on behalf of the entire board. What I can say is the board is, to my knowledge and based upon our past discussions, 2A friendly. I wish this board actually had an impactful vote in Trenton, but I think it's a duty of the board to support our District 24 legislators, because exactly what you said is exactly what I feel. And hopefully moving forward, the state will have a resurgence of demanding respect for our rights under 2A. And thank you.
Yeah, now, let me just finish. Now that the board is reorganized, we are going to have discussions on the different resolutions, and we will be presenting something to the public soon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? But thank you for coming. It was very well said.
Absolutely. If you guys like, I have a
Do you have a
copy of the one I
Sure.
mailed in.
Absolutely.
Thank
It's
you
part
very
of, it's
much.
part of a broader movement in the whole state. And
Right, I know that.
I feel very
Everyone's having to
sorry.
wake up.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Okay, not hearing anyone, can I have a motion to bring it back?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So, I'd just like to remind everyone to please refer to the county website, which is www.sussex.newjersey.us for meeting dates and times. We have moved our meeting time to 6 o'clock for anyone that would like to attend our meetings. Now we're for executive session. I'm going to turn it over to you, Kevin.
Whereas the subjects about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of Chosen Freeholders as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12 and and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of Chosen Freeholders to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12 and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relates to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12 as designated below as number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege. Brodhecker Thomas II versus County of Sussex Sheriff Department and Adult Protective Services. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon the completion of the business for which the board has entered into the executive session, here's my question, will we reconvene or will we adjourn from executive session? Is there any action to be taken?
There could be
Okay,
on item number 1.
okay, so the board shall reconvene.
Well,
and
it could be. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the board shall reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public, and be it further resolved, the board expects to, may take formal action after returning from executive session.
Okay, I think I've adopted, we'd like to have a motion then to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. We're going to go into executive session. You're welcome to stay or leave, whatever your pleasure is. But thank you so much for speaking on the Second Amendment, and I think you'll be hearing from us very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we on?
Yes, you're on,
Okay, then we need a motion to reconvene.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and we'd like to have a motion to accept our insurance carrier's recommendation to settle Thomas Brodhecker versus County and others, Superior Court docket number L-556-17. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?